Would you look at that? What?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 pop culture references in WandaVision.
Auntie Agnes is here, and I've got a couple of tricks up my sleeve.
Look, we've all been there, right? Letting our fear and anger get the best of us, intentionally expanding the borders of the false world we created.
Time to improvise.
For this list, we'll be looking at all the cool Easter eggs in the addictive new series that took us back to our favorite shows of yesteryear. We won't be including any Marvel or MCU references in this rundown. There will, however, be plenty of spoilers. Did you spot another cool reference to one of your favorite retro shows? Tell us about it in the comments. Number 10. Into the Twilight Zone. When we join Wanda and Vision in the 1950s, it's in the kind of shiny domestic bliss where the most serious problem is forgetting the boss was coming for dinner.
I don't want to be unappreciative, but right now...
Your boss and his wife are expecting a home-cooked meal.
Exactly.
Any chance they'd settle for single chocolate-covered strawberries split 3 ways?
However, we eventually realized that things might be less Donna Reed and more like another classic of the era. When Mr. Hart begins to choke, the wide sitcom shots are abandoned for tighter reaction frames. It's impossible not to be reminded of the distinct visual style of the seminal sci-fi series The Twilight Zone. The effect is only compounded by Mrs. Hart's unnerving reaction.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Vision, help him.
Then suddenly, it's as if the incident never occurred.
Well, would you look at the time?
Yes. We better be going.
Are you both all right?
We had such a lovely time.
It's our first clue that, like on The Twilight Zone, there's something much eerier about this picture than we've been led to believe. Number 9. Where you lead, we will follow. For all its recognizable references, some of WandaVision's allusions definitely feel like more of a wink to specific audiences. Gilmore Girls fans will instantly recognize the Warner Brothers backlot set where Westview's downtown exteriors are filmed, as our own beloved Stars Hollow.
I know that you think that I have gone full soccer mom, but it really is nice, right?
In WandaVision's Halloween episode, we get so much more than just a glimpse of the familiar square. Eagle-eyed devotees of Gilmore Girls will appreciate the miniature hay bale maze near the gazebo, a nod to the famous hay labyrinth that once took over the town.
That was... whoa! Right, babe?
Oh, you okay?
Maze. Just high on the maze.
We also see a movie being screened in the square at one point, a regular event on the Stars Hollow calendar. Undoubtedly, Westview is enjoying the premiere of another Kirk Gleason masterpiece.
Wow. He raps later. Okay, Jackson needs to see this.
Number 8. What Bump? TV shows have been ineptly trying to hide actress pregnancies for nearly as long as women have been on TV.
Listen, you can keep news of Wanda's, just between us.
Some standby favorites include oversized clothing, strategic furniture placement, and the magic of props. Wanda's series of unseasonable coats follows right along in this tradition. Afflicted by a serious case of sitcom brain, not even the savvy Geraldine catches on to her neighbor's accelerated pregnancy.
It's 75 degrees out. You making a fashion statement?
Things go further into the absurd when Wanda continues to deflect attention with the use of comically undersized household items.
Would you look at that? What?
Fruit!
Wanda! Thank you.
It's not until she's in labor that Wanda is forced to drop the ruse, in this case literally, showing the obvious limits of this overused television staple. Number 7. Walls Fall Down. The 2000s brought us a new era of self-aware humor that put unglamorous daily indignities front and center. Popularized by shows like The Office and Modern Family, this format deliberately weakened the divide between the characters and the audience with a documentary format that included confessional addresses to the camera. It's a style that WandaVision replicated particularly well.
Look, we've all been there, right? Letting our fear and anger get the best of us, intentionally expanding the borders of the false world we created.
It's also a very smart choice considering the movement of the plot. Wanda is visibly struggling to maintain a grip on the alternate reality she's crafted.
I don't understand what's happening. Why it's all falling apart and why I can't fix it.
Meanwhile, we see elsewhere that the outside world is breaking through to Westview whether Wanda likes it or not. All kinds of boundaries and illusions are crumbling in this episode, and the TV inspirations it's built on are the perfect illustration of that.
Do you think maybe this is what you deserve?
What? You're not supposed to talk.
Number 6. Very special subtext. By the 1980s and 90s, sitcoms had begun to flirt with the occasional introduction of heavier topics. Nowadays, these very special episodes are mostly remembered for the over-earnest cheese factor, but they did occasionally feature something genuinely poignant.
How come you don't want me, man?
The use of the phrase as the title of this episode was our first clue that things were about to get a little more real in Westview. Despite her picture-perfect family, fractures are starting to form in Wanda's control. Her teaching method with her sons is very in keeping with the conventions of an Issues episode, but it carries real-world weight behind it.
We can't rush aging just because it's convenient. And we can't reverse death, no matter how sad it makes us. Okay, some things are forever.
The episode culminates in a confrontation that all but shatters the sitcom concept.
Stop lying to me!
All of this is for us, so let me handle it.
It's becoming clear that Wanda can't hide in TV land forever. Number 5. A Full House. Wanda Maximoff may be a huge TV fan, but actress Elizabeth Olsen actually has a pretty significant connection to sitcom history.
If you go to sleep, I promise you will be my favorite twin.
Her older twin sisters Mary-Kate and Ashley famously started their acting career splitting the role of Michelle Tanner on Full House. This episode seems to enjoy playing up the parallels.
Auntie Agnes is here, and I've got a couple of tricks up my sleeve.
Much like earlier episodes of Full House featured the frazzled adults trying to keep up with the demands of caring for small children, Wanda and Vision have their own comic struggles with their uniquely challenging twins.
Now, I know parents aren't supposed to take shortcuts, but I think this situation calls for one. Don't you?
If that doesn't convince you, just take a look at this episode's credits. One shot in particular looks pretty familiar. Number 4. The Heart of the Home. In the series premiere, WandaVision takes us inside the sitcoms of early television.
Time to improvise.
Though we see lots of inspiration from well-known sources in every episode, the pilot lifts one reference wholesale. The kitchen that serves as the primary setting for so much of Wanda's plot is very similar to one some viewers will know from the Dick Van Dyke Show. We later learn that Wanda has a special place in her heart for the series in particular.
Dick Van Dyke again? Always sitcom, sitcom, sitcom.
Given that fact, it's not surprising that she would make it the first stop on her magical tour through television history.
It's a special day.
Perhaps an evening.
Great significance.
To us both.
Naturally.
Obviously.
Exactly.
But while Dick Van Dyke could never manage to avoid that ottoman, Vision has an advantage when it comes to navigating the furniture. Number 3. The Monster Next Door. This climactic reveal didn't just break the fourth wall, it broke with the entire tone of the episode.
The name's Agatha Harkness. Lovely to finally meet you, dear.
That's no reason we can't still have fun, though. Agatha Harkness is revealed to be the evil mastermind behind all the chaos in Westview with her very own theme song.
Who's been messing up everything? It's been Agatha all along.
Not only is it a wickedly catchy bop, but it also makes its own callback to the spooky TV past, most notably the theme of the Munsters. The 1960s classic also featured a family of monsters living in suburbia, though far more benign in their intentions than Agatha. We love this retro rewind for Westview's witch. After all, when you've been around for centuries, how different are the 60s and the 2000s really? Number 2. Less is more. As WandaVision keeps moving into the 1970s, it still maintains the sunny attitude of the previous 2 episodes.
I can't wait to be a proud
papaya.
Determined to live her best life in sitcom paradise, it's no wonder that Wanda drew inspiration from another plucky heroine of the era. The opening credit sequence offers a direct reference to the Mary Tyler Moore Show's colorful titles. Though TV's Mary Richards was famously single, the scenes of Wanda and Vision out and about in Westview are a further nod to her sitcom, which famously featured Rogers moving through her world rather than confined to a studio set.
You can never tell, why don't you take it? You're gonna make it after all.
But none of this is really unexpected. Just check out Wanda's groundbreaking Mary Tyler Moore style pants in episode 2. She is clearly a big fan.
And we're gonna knock their socks off, especially with you wearing this.
Oh, that's actually the rest of your costume.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. The same sudden jump to color that I Dream of Jeannie had after 30 episodes. Dr. Nielsen gets his name from the Nielsen television rating system.
Makes it simple for them.
The first isolated color splash in this gray world reminds us of Pleasantville. Pietro is just the most recent in a long history of unexplained character recastings.
Long lost bro get to squeeze his stinking sister to death or what?
She recast Pietro?
Vision practices his dad skills on Cindy Brady's Kitty Carey doll.
I think we have an understanding. Start the clock. Time.
Your personal best.
Yes.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. A Bewitching Tribute. If you're using your magical powers to reshape reality in the mold of classic television, there really couldn't be a more natural reference point than Bewitched. In the first 2 episodes, we see several direct tributes to the wacky 1960s sitcom about a witch and her mortal husband trying to blend into their suburban community. The pilot especially has a lot of fun recreating the special effects of the era.
If you don't scrub the kitchen floor, you ain't gonna rock and roll no more. Yakety yak. Don't talk back.
We've seen what Wanda's magic looks like in the MCU present, but in black and white it manifests in jump cuts, floating wires, and plates that put themselves back together by rewinding the tape.
My wife and her flying saucers.
My husband and his indestructible head.
Aren't we a fine pair?
This charming return to a simpler time reminds us that effects don't have to be high-tech to be enchanting.
I do. Do you?
Yes, I do.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.